you can have some concerts that really get out of control and result in some legal issues, as we had in this series. In fact, the Altamont case with a stabbing and a death. But the Riverport riot, in some ways, really set the record for rock and roll madness. Because if you ask yourself, how as a rock group can we face 5 criminal charges and 20 separate lawsuits? You do it with the Riverport riot, which took place on July 2nd, 1991. Of course, Guns and Roses were playing just outside of St. Louis. And they were deep into their set, all the way into Rocket Queen. And during the concert, the band and their management had complained repeatedly that security was letting people get out of control. They were throwing bottles. And what was very disturbing to the band, and in particular Axl Rose, was filming was going on. And they kept worrying that the photos were going to be sold to the tabloids. So right in the middle of the show, and right in the middle of Rocket Queen, Axl Rose pointed at a fan near the front that was filming and said, take that, get that guy, get his camera. And security was unable to get the camera away from the fan. And so Axl said, I'll do it myself, goddammit, jumped down from the stage and entered into an altercation with the fan, causing, according to his lawsuit, multiple injuries. So Axl gets back on the stage and says, security here sucks. This is lame ass security. We're going home. Walks off the stage, and Slash comes out and says, well, Axl just smashed the microphone, so that's the end of the show, which then resulted in a full-scale 3-hour riot police, and on and on. Well, a number of the fans that were injured sued Axl Rose and Guns N' Roses, and security cooperated with the police. And in fact, the police obtained 5 indictments and had warrants out for Axl Rose for inciting a riot. Now, the way a criminal conviction works is that establishes conclusively the liability and the facts in a civil proceeding, which has a lesser burden of proof, preponderance of evidence. Fortunately for Axl Rose and Guns N' Roses, the criminal judge did not find that Axl had incited the riot. But that did not mean that the fan that Axl had jumped didn't have his right to a jury trial. And in 1993, William Stevenson, who was 28, got all the way to jury trial, and they got all the way to the jury deliberating 3 hours in, and with some good reason. The band ultimately settled with Mr. Stevenson, who even got an autograph as part of it. Ultimately, the band gave money to St. Louis charities, but they did not play St. Louis again for decades. And in fact, if you look at the cover art of Use Your Illusion 1 and Use Your Illusion 2, it's written in there F St. Louis. The moral to the story is that if you're going to have a fight, and even if you're Guns N' Roses, don't incite a riot. John Belcher, Law Offices of John Belcher, the Riverport Riot, July 2nd, 1991.